Why building your credit score is so important. Welcome back to the channel, guys. First things first, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been supporting me so far. I really do appreciate the support, and I hope my videos are actually helping bring some type of value into your lives as well, okay? So we can just go ahead and smash that like button real quick. I would really appreciate that also. Now guys, I understand that as young adults, especially in our early 20s and whatnot, talking about credit scores isn't as, I guess, cool to talk about, right? I mean, who wants to sit at the table and be like, oh, hey, my credit score is an 800, my credit score is a 700, right? It's not something that us young adults tend to really talk about. But that's the thing here, guys, is that it's something that needs to be talked about, okay? Now, you may not know this now, but if you do not pay attention to this or take into consideration about your credit score, it is gonna highly affect you later on in your life when you're in your 30s or 40s, okay? Because let's be honest, time flies. And if you're in your early 20s right now, I can assure you that you're probably thinking right now, man, how I wish I was back in middle school finger painting or something, I don't know. And it's exactly the same scenario with your credit score, okay? And not even just for young people, even older people still to this point don't seem to, fully understand why it's so important to actually build up your credit score. And for those who do understand, may think it's too late for them to even start working on their credit score at that point. But it's never too late, guys, especially if you want to get the best, APR ratings in the near future for a house or a car, and to also help you save money as well because of those low APRs that you will get for your good credit score. So it's very, very important to understand the consequences that come along with not taking responsibility for your credit score, okay? Because let's face it, guys, at some point in our lives, we're gonna have to borrow money. Whether you believe you are or not, it is something that is gonna eventually happen because not everybody has huge sums of money to just purchase whatever the hell they want, okay? And what I mean by borrowing money is that you're gonna need to borrow money to purchase things like a house, a car. I mean, it's something that we're all gonna want at some point in our lives, correct? And most people are not gonna have all the money, the thousands of money to purchase these things at once as well. So that's why at some point we're gonna have to borrow money from a bank or a credit union in order to purchase some of these things, okay? And the main problem with this is if you're not working on your credit score, it's gonna affect you from purchasing some of these things as well. So that's exactly what I wanna go over real quick, is on some things on how it's gonna affect you from purchasing some of these things, okay? Because when you have little to no credit, guys, it may even disqualify you from applying from purchasing any of these things whatsoever. So for example, purchasing a new home or just a home in general. Now a while back, I was in the barbershop getting a haircut and whatnot, and there was this barber who I could overhear talking, saying that him and his wife were actually looking for a house. But guess what the main problem with that was? Since he was the main, breadwinner in the house, but he didn't have no credit, he couldn't get a house. And since his wife didn't have credit also, I mean, they were basically gonna get screwed up in getting a house with these APRs that they were being offered. As a matter of fact, I don't even think he even qualified for a house just because he had no credit whatsoever. And that got me to thinking like, wow, like I didn't even know that you could be disqualified from getting a house with or without no credit, I just assumed they would charge you up the ass or something. But when I overheard that, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, that's kind of the inspiration a little bit for this video, because some of you need to realize that this could potentially affect you later on in the future, okay? Again, this is, a barber trying to purchase a home for him and his wife and his kids. So not being able to buy a house just because of your credit, I mean, damn. And I think that this guy was in his like early 30s or late 20s. So you can imagine what was probably running through his mind, thinking like, man, this is something I should have been building like 10 years ago. Had I done that now, he could have, purchased the home he wanted and also purchased it at a good rate. So, I mean, that's crazy. So that's why I'm telling you guys that focusing on building your credit score early is a really important thing to do. So now I think last I heard, he's, probably getting out credit cards or something to actually build up his credit. So hopefully that goes well for him, but hopefully some of you don't make that same mistake as well also. And on top of that, guys, I mean, if you build your credit early on, especially when purchasing a house, you get the best APRs, which means that you're gonna save huge tons of money down the road when you actually purchase a home, okay? This can make the difference of you buying a house at a certain price and saving thousands on top of thousands of dollars. So if you're okay with just letting thousands of dollars go to waste, then be my guest and don't worry about your credit score, okay? But for those of you who actually care about your money and can do something else with that money, like invest it instead, then do please be aware, okay? Now, another thing I want to mention is purchasing a car. This is going to affect you even more because the lower your credit score is, the higher those APRs are going to be on a car, and they're going to be extremely high, okay? There are some people who literally have an APR from 10 to 20% on a car, guys. Like, that is crazy. Plus, on top of that, you're going to have higher payments because the banks are going to see you as more high risk just because you don't have no credit possibly. And if you don't have a credit history whatsoever, they're going to be like, you're pretty risky. We don't know if you can handle this loan, right? Why would they give you a loan if you don't have any proof showing them that you can handle that loan, that you can repay it back little by little? So that new car that you've been looking at in the parking lot those past few days, I would check your credit score first before you think about making that purchase. Now, also guys, starting a business. Now, for all my young entrepreneurs out there watching this, if you're thinking of starting a business, mainly a physical business, I mean, definitely not no online business, your credit score is going to matter as well because again, you're going to have to borrow money. Just like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, guys, this all comes down to borrowing money. And starting a business is one of those things as well. If you have no credit history to show for that, you think they're going to trust you with starting a business if you can't even show proof that you know how to handle money? I mean, come on, that doesn't make sense, right? And really guys, when it comes down to it, again, like I mentioned earlier, at some point in our lives, we are gonna have to borrow money. Unless you're born into a rich family with thousands and millions of dollars, then maybe it's not such a big thing for you. But that's probably only like 20% of America or something. I don't know. I don't know the exact numbers for that, but you know what I mean. So again, please do focus on possibly building up your credit score, guys, because it is gonna come into so much good news later on in your life and you don't even realize it, okay? I was actually fortunate enough for my father to show me more about credit scores. And I wasn't even thinking about it when I got out of high school. And lucky for me, I didn't let it go from one ear just through the other. I actually paid attention. I was like, okay, whatever, you know? So luckily he taught me a few things about credit scores. And that actually got my credit score up in the high 800s or something at this point. So you can imagine what other people in my age area probably don't have. And that's actually crazy because to see such a young person like myself with a high credit score like that, the older people just look at it and like, whoa, like, how did you get that credit score, you know? Like, that's crazy. So now if I want to go purchase a new house or a new car or something like that, I will have no problem whatsoever with it because of my good credit score. Because again, guys, it shows proof that I'm able to handle money, repay it back. You know, banks like that type of stuff. Even if I wanted to get out a loan, I mean, I would qualify for a loan easily, you know? These banks are going to be like, you know what? Take all the money we got. We trust you with it. Now, doesn't that sound nice, guys, to being offered lots of money just because you know how to use it and repay it back, right? Money you don't even need. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that video. I hope you understood clearly what I was getting at in this video as well. And I just really hope that some of you start taking action with your credit score as well, because that's what it really comes down to it, okay guys? So if you did enjoy it, be sure to give this video a like. Also leave me a comment down below, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Are you working on your credit score now? Have you even started whatsoever? Or are you actually going to think about doing something about it now? Now you can have a better future for you and your future family or present family at that. Also, if you haven't, be sure to subscribe as well so that you stay notified on more videos just like this. Alright guys? Anyways, that's going to be it for today. And I'll see you on the next video. Later guys.